So, hey, ladies.
Hi.
Hey, wow. Look at this, y'all. Episode 49, our season finale. I have to do the whole
Here.
I'm really loud right now. Yes, our episode. Thank you, Jeanette, for this beautiful title. High key happy. Look at that. Look at that.
High key petty. We ain't gonna talk about that, but
high key petty. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about the background stuff that was going on to come up with this title. Oh my goodness, heartbeats, listeners, welcome to episode 49, our high key happy, our season finale as we wrap up season 2. Ooh, today we're going to talk about some highs, some highlights, some highs and lows. Oh my goodness. Any and everything around happiness, but also kind of give you a recap of the season and how we have continued to bring you these wonderful episodes and how much we love y'all. So all the above. We love it. We love it. Oh, highlights. Jeanette, we're going to start with you. No, because Jeanette, you said at the beginning of this episode, you gave 2 really good highlights to kind of kick this episode off, right? And you came up with the title, as I said.
Let her trying to set me up.
She's going first.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
nah,
so
I could just sit on mute and wait for Shauna to go, because she ain't gonna want this dead air in here.
No, we got to cut that out.
Know better. Like, I don't even know why she called my name first, y'all. Y'all know.
I'm igniting your fuego, baby. I'm igniting your fuego.
Go, Linda.
Shauna knows she's ready for this episode. No, we're just going to talk about, like Linda said, some of the highlights from this year. So we'll kick it off with Shauna moved to North Carolina, which y'all all know by now.
Yes.
That was a highlight for all of us because it allowed us to get together in Raleigh before she moved, and then again in High Point.
Yes, that was amazing. Amazing. Yes, Shauna, do you want to comment on that? Because we pulled that together, right? And
yes, Shauna.
Only there. You weren't even there yet. You weren't even moved there yet. You had got your keys and all that good stuff, but you had.
Yeah, the first time we met, I wasn't there, so I got to learn a lot about at least downtown Raleigh with you ladies. We had a great time, and this year was. I'm just gonna say, this was a really rough year for me. I consider this year, and I've said this several times, I feel like my whole life up until this month has been packing and unpacking. And I've been doing a lot of journaling around that. And packing and unpacking, I had a lot of family that was going through a lot of different transitions as well as myself. And we had to drop everything and help each other with different moves, different transitions that was happening personally in our lives. And I felt like, I was packing and unpacking other people's lives, packing and unpacking my own personal life, and physically packing and unpacking because I helped a few family members move. I moved. So I did a lot of journaling around that because I just didn't understand why my life was at a space where when we said Happy New Year this year, I thought I was going to take off with all my workshops and my books were already going to be done by March. And I mean, I had like these huge expectations on things that were supposed to be accomplished in my life before the summer got here. I knew I was moving. But I thought that was going to be like the one and only biggest transition that I was going to have to deal with. And I ended up dealing with probably 10 or 20 ones before that.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to feel settled right now, regrouping. And I had some lows, loss of very close, dear aunt of mine that I helped take care of her to her last days. And I just didn't expect myself to see this year like this. And I'm just happy to be a part of the Heart of Chat. I found myself re-listening to some of our podcasts to help pick myself up. And I read more and I wrote a lot because I felt like I was at a standstill. I don't know if there's any heartbeats out there that felt like their life was put on pause, but that's how I felt this year. I felt like it was put on pause and I couldn't do anything. All I could do was be still. I've said this several times, and Jeanette helped me, but your word of the year was surrender.
Yep, that's it.
I feel like I had to lean more into what Jeanette said for her year than I was with mine. And I try to execute joy with that. As Linda says, her year came in when she was wanting to put joy into everything, which you've exuded. So I was trying to lean on what the Heart Chat put out there for their year, because I was messed up for a while.
Yeah, it's and I think you talked about a lot of that, Shauna, too, just the highs and lows of going all of that. And I remember in January, late December, early January, kind of having those discussions and talking about, we're going to get the books done. We were planning for workshops and just all of that. And sometimes there's this saying, it's like, ooh, the best laid plans, right? Because we already came off of a hard year. 2020 was, a hard year for everybody. Only to come into 2021, it's like, and I think this is me. Look, you guys out there, you ladies have probably seen it. Jeanette's laughing, where I think it was either the Joker is showing, I don't know if y'all are familiar with the scary movie It.
Yeah.
The Joker is showing It. Oh, here's what 2021 is about. If y'all know about anything about that movie, It.
Yeah.
It's scary as I don't know what. So it's like, if he's showing It 2021, we in for a ride, okay? It would have come to fruition in a lot of ways. So
2021 kicked off crazy. I know a lot of people was like, yo, if this is what 2021 is about to be like, we thought 2020 was, hard, but we were forced, so 2020 was hard because it just kind of forced you to sit down, right? A lot of people was like, oh, I'm not used to it. I'm used to being on the go. You readjust it. So then when you kind of started to appreciate that slowness in life and to be able to pick and choose the things you wanted to do and pick and choose the people you wanted in your life, then all of a sudden the world opens back up and it's like, do I go full steam ahead back out into the world, or do I continue to live in this space that I'm like actually really enjoying and appreciating? And how do I tell the other people in my life, like, I really enjoy social distancing. I enjoy just being home. You know what? I don't like going out as much as I thought I did, and so having to figuring that part of life out and just feeling like you're pulled now in two different ways. And then just one of the things about this year that just really irked me was just the way that people try to make everyone feel like, like guilt tripping people, right? I'm gonna guilt trip you if you do this, if you don't do this. I'm gonna guilt trip you if you go, if you don't go, if you wear a mask, if you don't wear a mask. Like all those things. It's just like, why people can't just choose to be who they want to be, and you choose who you want to be,
right? And
be happy with that, right? Why can you not be happy if I don't choose the same path that you've chosen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and back to Shauna's point about the word of the year, we've said it a couple times how the three of us, our words kind of flowed together, and it just made.
And I can't never remember mine, Jeanette, because I'm caught up between yours.
I got you. I'm about to tell you. So it was surrender, flow with ease, and choose joy, right?
Yep.
And I feel like you have to do all those to get to the joy. Like you have to surrender first to let things flow with ease in order to choose joy. Like it, and just the way that our words came together, and we didn't sit down together like, oh, what are you going to choose? Oh, I think I'm going to choose this and this. No, this is
it's real,
right?
The alignment, and we probably said it's off mic plenty of times, but just the alignment in our lives and the things that are happening and the way like we come up with ideas and how things flow for us. It's just been like God said, what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's been the beautiful part of this year. I mean, even though the lows, kind of got us too. And, I lost my stepmom in April after Shauna's aunt passed. And that was hard. So I had to take a pause just from, my professional work and from my business for like 6 or 8 weeks. So that was something that was, unexpected and having to adjust. I had to flow and surrender to, not controlling the different outcomes of things and sort of sat, I had to sit down again because we sat down all of 2020 and then have to sit down yet again in 2021. That was really hard, but it was something that, had to work through, had to do it, dealing with the emotions around how things just kind of accelerated, from like January to like March. It was, iffy, but then when March hit, it roared in, and we were just it was nuts. Had to travel, to Charleston, South Carolina to deal with some things there, and still dealing, but trying to look at from the lens of, wow, what's going to happen now? Do I just like sit back and wait, or do I keep doing the work to get back to this the happy place? So that's why I love the title of this episode so much. High key happy, but that's not to say that everything was peaches and cream leading up to now, even towards the taping of this episode. So it's all stuff that kind of happened. And we're recording this now in August. I think this probably airs either sometime at the end of August or September. So by the time our listeners and Heartbeats hear this, it will be 9 months or so in a year. So it's just, kind of choosing that happiness, surrendering, flowing with ease, and then finding joy in the hard times. I mean, I think Shauna all the time, with the loved one, with her aunt, and just, being there with her and for her, as she was taking care of her. There's a little bit of joy in that, but there's also sadness too. But the joy is knowing that you were there for her. And yes, that could be, it could be hard and also very happy at the same time.
Yeah. And I think that's the choice part, right? Like, so even when we went to Raleigh, that was right around the time that your stepmom had passed away. And like, life gives you these things and these events that happen in your life where you could lash out, be angry, go into yourself, be depressed, like all these different things that can happen. But to when we were brainstorming show titles, Shauna's point was, in that moment where we were together in Raleigh, you chose to embrace your happiness and to be present and to just, find value in that time and that space with all of us together, with Maddie included. And I think that's how we lived this year.
we did.
It was like the only way. Like it was almost like you can see light at the end of the tunnel, and that is there, because even though life hits you with different situations and circumstances and so many unknowns, you've made it out of something to see and feel what happiness is. So choosing to continue to walk towards the light, even though you're going through, sometimes is all you can do. I felt like I was dragging on my knees. Like it was crazy. With my aunt, she transitioned the same month that my husband did, 2 years prior. And I took care of her exactly the same way I took care of my husband. So it was all of these emotions, all of the remembering of how this goes down, working with hospice. And it was crazy. I couldn't understand. I didn't question the universe and God, but I did question the universe and God. Why am I here again? What does this mean?
I know you have a purpose for this, but God, do we really have to figure it out?
Really repeat.
Yeah. It's something else. And the trip to Raleigh, I think it was 3 weeks after Julie had passed. And I was on the fence, when I came back from Charleston, making the drive back in mid-April, I was like, am I going to do the trip to Raleigh? I think, Shauna, you were asking. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it. I pushed through. I was so glad Maddie was with me. So she hung out with us for that beautiful weekend. And I look at that, I wouldn't have missed it. I would do the drive.
That's so bad.
We needed it. And, I know I needed it. And when we did our live, people came on. And I think some people didn't know about what we've gone through. And afterwards, getting the messages, and we thank you all for that. The love. Some people I didn't even get to tell because it had only been 3 weeks. I could not get to everybody.
Yeah.
Couple people reach out to me like over that weekend and say, wow, I didn't know about Julie. And I apologize, and hey, I just haven't gotten to everybody yet. But so going through that process, and people really like showed up, and they were there for me. They were there for all of us. And that to me was like, okay, this is that happy place. This is what this feels like.
Yeah.
So,
Let's talk about how we had a whole agenda for that weekend.
Yeah.
And Linda and I went through at the same exact time, was adamant about continuing to make sure that we carry out the plans that we were supposed to do. We had this whole full agenda that weekend. And I love when Jeanette made the executive decision and just to put the gavel down. And she was like, no, we're just going to come see each other. We're just going to love on each other, because that's what we need right now. We need to pour love into each other. Yeah. So we sat the agenda aside. We put everything to the side. We paused and connect with each other. It was a very high bonding experience, I would say, connection. And it was the first time we were together in the same city. So it was all of that too, you know. And it was my first time meeting Maddie. I've been knowing Maddie virtually since she was 9 or 8 or 9 years old. And so I was really happy that Jeanette did that. And I noticed when you find your tribe, ladies and gentlemen, and you could be a part of many different tribes, because we are. But when you find that tribe that really absolutely essentially knows what you need more than you do and can articulate it in a way where you can receive it, you're in the right space.
That's for sure. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. We had a whole thing planned. We were going to shoot a couple of episodes, but we did do something. So
we did. Oh yeah.
We planned the Airbnb that we stayed at in High Point, North Carolina.
We just did our photo shoots.
We just did our photo shoots.
First photo shoot together.
Plural. We did 2 photo shoots, y'all.
Oh yeah. I was like,
now. Yes, I'm sure by now you all have seen the pictures. Just our beautiful, lovely Jeanette here, and shout out to Sierra of Sierra Collins Photography.
Thank you, Sierra.
Brand photo shoot.
Our makeup.
Our makeup. Oh my goodness. Dare to be Diva. Amazing with our makeup, just beautiful space. And Jeanette just really did some beautiful shots of us. So when we planned the Airbnb in Raleigh, we're like, okay, where are we going to stay, what we're going to do? I mean, it just all came together. I think we all said we're not leaving here till we have our next trip planned.
Scheduled it already.
We had already scheduled it. We were doing the countdown, and then by the time we
had pajama jammy jam time,
we had all
y'all had onesies on, courtesy of creative genius Shanna Hivitz. I got my girls in onesies, y'all. It was hard. I'll tell you. Let me tell you, it was hard to get Linda and Jeanette to order onesies. I'm like, have you ordered yours yet? And you know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting on 4 of them. And so I decided to take my unicorn one. They don't have any. And I'm like, come on, ladies, we're going to do this. And every week I would messages on Marco Polo, because I would hear about how all their Amazon cart was filled with these planners and these.
Not the planner shot.
No one said anything about a onesie.
Took a shot at our planners today.
Do you wear onesies? Onesies is it. They are the bomb. And our pictures turned out so cute and adorable. We had so much fun. And our inner child came out, all 3 of us. And it was so much fun.
Video.
That is hilarious. Yeah. Shout out to almost 17,000 views on that reel, though. That was
the reels was so much fun.
Yeah, and yeah, I stayed up. I usually go to bed like 9:30, 10. It was 11:30. Jeanette, did you stay? I think I was up to like 2:30 in the morning. Like I never stay awake. It was really, really awesome. And even I said, Maddie, we did a reels, and she screenshotted. She said, "Oh my goodness, mommy." Because she screenshotted and told her best friend, "Look at what my mom did." Of course, I asked
so much fun.
I said, "You see my reels?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "You share with your friends?" He said, "No."
But no, Mom, I'm not going that far.
Share with your friends.
That's going a little too far.
I said, just hit that share button in the bottom left-hand corner. And he just like looked at me.
That is our visionary artist. She's so artistic, where she's able to capture moments with Linda and I that she finds to be really great moments that Linda and I find that we're just being ourselves, but we love that Jeanette loves that about us.
Yes, and the music, Shauna, while we were getting our makeup done, Shauna had the playlist. Jeanette, you have those videos, some of the songs.
Oh yeah, those are coming.
I love music. Y'all know I eat, sleep,
videos are coming out.
Oh no! So I don't know if I can mention some of the songs on here, but I was like,
I wish y'all could have seen. Y'all should have seen them. Heartbeats. I listen to everything. Like I do. I listen to every genre. I listen to every type of music. And so I have a station that just emulates that. And it was really nice because our makeup artist was singing and bouncing the whole time. It was just a fiesta, which is what it's supposed to be, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And can we talk about how Linda, she briefly mentioned it. She's normally the early bird, but she beat us pretty much every night we was there. Me and Shauna must be.
I was in bed first
because we was like,
I had my whole life. I was watching Insecure.
I made it that first night. That second night, I was done. I was so tired.
It was great. Yes, and I think one morning I woke up, I had my playlist on.
I was like, ooh.
Oh, that's nice music. I was in the room, it was great.
I can hear you down the hallway. So between Linda's music down the hall waking me up in a good way, and then the smell of Shauna's coffee that she insisted on trying to schedule
the night before.
I was like, she was like, no, I'm gonna get this schedule. It's gonna just start brewing on its own. I was like,
my personal assistant.
I said, well, you have it already set up. You can just get up and hit the button and lay back down. She's like, no, I want it to brew on its own.
Why would I do that when it can do it on its own?
I don't know who said it, but then Shauna said it didn't cut on by itself. I was like, oh, okay.
And I also said it was fire.
You did say that. You did.
She didn't give up though. She kept trying to the very end. I was hilarious.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Wow. And then even when we were there, I mean, we did work. We had fun. I think that's
we worked on our tour.
Worked on our
3-city tour.
And that's how the Reels was born. What people think we're doing, what we're actually doing. We were working. I think that one day we worked for 12 hours straight on social
12 hours straight,
the tour. I mean,
y'all worked 12 hours straight.
Yeah.
Okay, I
spent about 4 hours on the porch swinging on the thing. No, and say, call me when you need me.
No, Linda. And I got this video. I'm gonna share it, y'all. Okay. When this goes live, I'm gonna share this video on our stories because me and Linda was inside working. And she was like, I'm gonna go sit on the porch. I said, okay. And I look out the window and I said, Linda, look at her. I said, she is all the way out in the woods taking selfies. I said, oh, she gonna go farther. Linda, something gonna grab her. She better come back.
I was scared. I was like, I ain't going out there.
She kept talking about climbing this tree, talk about inner child. She told me, the moment we pulled up in the driveway, she's like, oh, I'm getting in that tree. I was like, we're not getting in the tree. Yes, I could get in the tree. I was like, no, we're not getting in that tree. And I heard you tell Sierra too.
Yes.
Sierra's like, you gotta get in the tree.
Sierra was like, you want to take photos back there?
That was so funny.
I ended up doing selfies, ladies and gentlemen, because I couldn't get them near the forestry of the land, but they had bamboo trees back there. They were beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they were.
Beautiful property. It was great.
I was cracking up though. I was like, look at her. She is just in her own world. But I think it's so funny because in thinking of our future, for the Heart of Chat, like that's what we are going to need for the three of us is the type of creative spaces that we need. So Shauna is wherever our space ends up being, ladies, Shauna is going to need somewhere where she can step outside
nature,
be outside.
Right. Yeah.
And Linda's going to need a TV somewhere nearby with a nice chair where she can just go put on Netflix. I'm like, okay, I'm taking a break. I'm going to watch Netflix. I'll be back. Yeah. Exactly. And I'm somewhere in between. I need the outside, inside. Yeah. All the things, but
that's where we are best creative selves, right?
Yeah. I mean, the couches and just spaces like that, nice TV. Even I may or may not be watching. It's just that background noise kind of listening. I have my laptop or another device sort of working. It's like in the couches are everything to me. I'm actually searching for a new couch now for my living room. Hope I find something nice. But that is like
that's fun.
That's a big deal.
Something with those pillows behind you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And this is, I wish this was it right here. Space similar to this with these wonderful pillows.
You got it. It's coming.
Yes. Wow. So we talked about how we did have to pivot this year. I mean, I think even when just going back to Raleigh for a second, I think we did announce to our heartbeats and our audience and our listeners that, we paused season 2 for a minute. And all planned out, Jeanette creates these beautiful tools and everything. I like checking boxes, right? Oh, it's got to be checked. But having to pivot and, pull back from that a little bit. Initially it was hard, but then I knew it was necessary.
Yeah.
But I couldn't check those boxes because the time and space and life happens and you just couldn't do it. So having to pivot and we pause, and here we are, right? And I think that speaks to itself. That's real life, and I think people really relate to that.
They do.
Yeah.
You ladies have taught me to be okay with that when it comes to creating content and putting content out there, and that people will understand, that we do have to pivot and pause, because sometimes I get so strict about, oh my goodness, we got to keep putting stuff out. I don't know if we should take a pause now. I don't know if this is the right time. And then when we came back and everybody was still there, I was like, oh my goodness, that was great. And my mental health and my mental wellness is at an all-time high, and I can give my best. So that's something that I learned about taking that break.
Yeah. And like you said earlier, I just like that we give each other that space and that we recognize it, because we don't always see it for ourselves, and so it does take a third person to see it. But just seeing that your friend needs that time and space isn't enough. Telling them that they need to take it, whether you feel like they're going to be receptive or not, because sometimes you could tell them, and then a lot of people aren't going to be receptive in the moment, but then later on they'll reflect on it, and then it'll they'll understand why you said it. So don't be afraid to tell your people that are closest to you. You probably should sit down for a minute.
Yeah.
Period.
That's right.
Well, I like the way you say it, Jeanette. Take several seats.
I know that's right. That's what stuff my mama told me, but for different reasons.
Love you, mama. I like that.
That's right. Yeah. And we had some great other highlights this season. Anybody want to kind of talk about those during this last few months? Other highlights, our t-shirt line.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Linda. You in there?
Bum, bum, bum.
Take it away.
Yeah.
So we released our apparel.
I need to edit those pictures.
Yes. Wonderful. What'd you say about the pictures, Jeanette? Pause.
I took pictures of the t-shirts in Raleigh, y'all, and I have not. And I did the pictures for High Point and sent those back. I have not sent y'all the pictures from.
Okay, I'm writing this down.
I haven't seen those.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't. I only sent y'all the ones in front of the wall with the 4 of us.
Oh, right.
But remember, we did the ones at the park after Maddie was riding the bike.
No, I remember those in the trees.
Because I had to put Shauna's shirt on. It was like, I was like,
I'm so glad I get to take the pictures, so I don't have to be in them all the time.
Yes, we have the heartbeats. Yes, so that was, huge highlight.
Yeah.
Apparel line release, and thank you all those folks, all our heartbeats who have purchased this merchandise. We have pictures of some of our heartbeats. If you purchased any of our apparel, please send those in. And yes, Jeanette, thanks in advance for those pictures. Yes.
You're welcome. Well, we're working on a specialty just for our show. So we can't tell you what it is yet or what it's going to say, but we have a special one coming out thanks to our mentor. And so that's going to be out.
It's going to be huge.
For the tour.
Yes, we're
tour. Let's talk about the tour. Yeah, let's talk about the tour.
Your regularly scheduled Heart of Chat podcast for this brief announcement.
Brief announcement. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have a 3-city tour coming up. Right now, the first one is going to be Saturday, October 23rd in Cleveland, in my hometown. Come on out and hang out with us. Tickets are on sale on Eventbrite. Pretty sure we'll have a link here as well.
Yes.
Go to our website. I lost my train of thought. My bad. I was at the
party.
Go
to the website, get your ticket, come out to Cleveland. Look, take a break. Don't do any traveling until October when you come out to Cleveland for our show, so you can be refreshed and ready to travel with us, because we want to see you all.
We do. We have some fun things planned. Yes.
And y'all been asking for this. Don't make us come out here by ourselves. Y'all
That's right. That's right. And we're offering some cool things. We have some, we have 2 ticket options. Okay. So
we do.
We have a few VIP tickets left. So
and
I believe
those are going fast.
They are going fast. Little options come.
We have limited.
It's
limited tickets.
But yeah, I mean, I think you're gonna love the after show, the after party, kind of, what we plan and put together.
So we can't tell you much about the after show because that's gonna be special. But the show, like, we're talking about music, DJ, some dancing, us live, and then meeting afterwards. The opportunity to buy some merchandise.
In a beautiful drink.
Oh yeah, I wish y'all could have tasted it. It was good though. It was good. I got to taste our signature drink that we're gonna have.
The Heart of Chat signature drink is coming out, and it's gonna start in Cleveland.
Yes. It's gonna be amazing. And by the time this episode airs, we'll be less than 2 months out from the Cleveland City Tour.
Yes.
You all,
come and see us.
Yeah, come and see us. Connect with us if you have questions, DM us, email us, join our mailing list. If you're not on our mailing list, then our heartbeats on the mailing list, they get all the information first, even before it hits Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, any social media outlet. The mailing list is key. We send an email every Monday with our episodes, with links to our apparel, links to our other merchandise like the mug and the journal that came out in the first season. We definitely, keep all of that information in our newsletter every Monday, like clockwork, sometime between 7 and 10 a.m., depending on when Linda gets up.
You're going to get it in the morning. Just know that.
I mean, like this, like the
Don't
summer months,
if it's not there at 6:30, 7 a.m., it's
most
coming.
time, I would say 85% of the time.
That's really good.
It'll be there before 11. Just know that.
I'll be sleepy. Like some of the summer months, like I took a couple of vacations this summer, and
but
9:00.
But if you're subscribed on any of the platforms that our podcast is hosted on, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, any and everywhere that we're at, including YouTube, you'll get the notification. It's there at 6 a.m. That's one thing that we do.
And if you watch the YouTube video, it's set up at 5 a.m.
See how she be trying to trump my 6 a.m.?
Yeah, I think we did. We changed it I think it was a reason. I think I had to go to work because with everything going back to, I use normal very loosely, air quotes. I've had to go to work a few times. And so I tried to get it out prior to that. And I think you all had set it to like between 5 and 6.
Yep.
Get the email out. And then I literally run out the door to go to work on the days that I have to go in. So yeah.
No, that's what's up. Yeah. And this message has been sponsored by the Heart of Chat, Shauna, Linda, and Jeanette.
Thank you. I like that. Can you clip that out and sprinkle it into the episode?
I can only do it when I'm playing around and on here with y'all. I cannot. If I pre-recorded it, I'm like, oh, this sounds dumb. Delete. I gotta have that energy of the group to do it.
That is funny.
So, I just wanted to talk about why we wanted to talk about happiness, being happy, and why we chose High Key Happy. First of all, I would like to say that part of our show title was inspired by Insecure Season 4, episode number 8, which is Low Key Happy. But the reason why we didn't go with Low Key wasn't because we didn't want to, steal from Issa because she got some amazing titles. It was because low key means it's kind of sort of, right? Like, a little bit. I kind of feel that way. Where high key is, no, this is what it is. And I'm happy. And I personally feel like why I was so adamant when Shauna was like, okay, just give it to her because apparently this means more to her than anybody else. So just give her this title. That's how I felt about that power one, Shauna. Like, fine,
right.
Go ahead. Linda, just put it down and I'm just going to go with it. But, why high?
We got to pick our battles.
Yeah, we do. That's the truth. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then we tried to make Linda make a decision. She refused.
Yeah.
She's like,
that's the problem with the middle child.
No, I'm not making it. No, we're good.
But personally for me, it's because I can't always say that I was always happy, you know what I mean? And like, or I've always felt that way, or even allowed myself, more or less allowed myself to feel that way. So sometimes I told myself I wasn't happy. And I was. There was obvious moments in my life of joy and happiness, fun and all the things, but I chose not to say, oh, I'm happy, out of fear that the moment you say it, something bad is going to happen. But that's just life, right? It ebbs, it flows. It's always going to be a high. It's always going to be a low. That's how you grow. It's and it's just like what I tell my kids, like, kindergarten, you the low man on the totem pole. You in the 5th grade, you think you are the big shot. And then you go to middle school and it's like, oh. And then you get to 8th grade, I'm the big shot. And then you go to high school, it's like, you a senior, you the big shot. And now you're a freshman in college. Graduate from college, and it's like, oh, I'm the new person, the new guy in whatever field that you're in. It's just life. It's always going to be ups. You're always going to feel like you're on the top at times and feel like you're not at the top at other times. But just being okay with saying that I'm happy and not putting that fear of, if I say it, then, something bad is going to happen, or I can't allow myself to feel bad because I'm supposed to be happy. And so I'm not low-key happy. I am happy. I love my life. I love my children, my home, my friends, this podcast, and my heartbeats, like the people that follow us. And so I'm happy and I'm okay with that. And I want more people to be okay with saying that they are happy.
Yeah. And like we always said, not being tied into expectations, which is part of my problem with life. And choosing happiness is an internal thing. It's not really the things on the outside. It's really knowing inside that you are working hard to make peace within yourself to choose happiness. Choosing happiness is a choice. I was taught that have the best stepfather in the world. And he would always preach that to me as a teenager. And he would just always say, just choose happiness. And I would be so confused, like, is it really that easy? And you're right, Jeanette, life is going to be life. As long as you stay grateful. And those examples you just shared, I feel like life has a really neat way of keeping us humble.
Yes.
And keeping us grateful.
True. Yep.
Because the minute you think you're all that, life says, whoa, hold on. You can be happy and everything, but recognize, recognize what's what.
Yeah.
Agreed.
There's always something to learn. Always something.
I want to say something about my grief and losing my husband. Of course, that is devastated my world, and I'm still dealing with grief, and according to my therapist, will be, grieving for him my entire life. I always said internally I was a happy person, even when I was grieving serious and very hard. I knew I was a happy person, but I wasn't happy at that time. And I had to give myself grace to be okay with not being happy at that time. And I also knew that I would figure out a way how to get back to my happy place, as long as I continue to do the work. And now I'm in a space where my inner mentor, when things happen or grief hits, I process it, I go through it, I don't ignore it. I give myself the time and space for it. But then my inner mentor, I hear her echo inside of me, and she's always like, continue to choose happiness. Continue to choose happiness, no matter what I'm going through.
Because you are a happy person. And even though you weren't happy at that moment, you are not defined by like your emotions and your feelings. Yeah.
And that was something that my husband and I always said about our relationship, is that we were two happy people individually. And everyone would always be like, how did you make this relationship? How did this get so great? And I'm looking for a soulmate. I'm looking for this and that. And they were always disappointed in our answer, because my husband would say, I can't make Shauna happy. And she can't make me happy either. We have to both individually be happy on our own. He said, what we're exhibiting and what you're experiencing from us is you are seeing what two happy people bring to the table. We are enhancing each other's happiness. That's all we were doing. But if you can't be happy on your own, that's the part that we have to figure out is how can I be happy on my own without anyone else influencing that or the outside world? That's when you know you truly found happiness. And then the hard part that my stepfather used to say, once you choose it and you find it, now you got to learn how to hold on to it.
Oh yeah.
Everybody and their mama coming after it.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Yeah, you had those moments and you be like, how can I just bottle this feeling up, right? Like when we were at high point, I just need to bottle this up so that every time something happens, I can just sip on this and get back to that
exactly.
space. And I
like that, sip on it.
Yes, and I know this is not a relationship episode, but I feel like maybe someone needs to hear this, that that is a lot of reasons why people have struggles in their relationships is because somebody isn't happy, right?
Right.
And it's not necessarily that you are the reason that they're not happy. They're just not happy. You might just be the thing in front of them that they are lashing out against, and they're like pointing their finger at you because they still haven't figured it out for themselves yet. And you know, all isn't lost. It's just that you have to, when you can recognize that your partner isn't happy or in a happy space, then you can figure out how you can either help them cultivate it or do more of the things that bring them joy, or also take the pressure and blame off yourself for not being able to fix it for them.
Yeah.
Right?
Allow them the space to fix it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sometimes that's the problem too, is you're trying to force your happy on them and they just looking at you like, if you don't get out my face.
I wish it worked.
Girl, get out of here.
You don't get out my face. But yeah, it's allowing them the time and the space, but and just taking that pressure off yourself to say like, I don't understand, I've done everything I can, because it's not you, it's them. Right. They have to do everything that they can for themselves to find that.
It always goes back to that internal work, right?
Yep.
Self-reflection.
That's right.
Mirror talk.
Yo,
sorry, I just reworked this here, so I'm back on that.
But I don't know if y'all watch. I hope y'all do, but if you haven't, then you should go do it. Shauna's reflection series on her Instagram page, a personal one, and I can't. Every time Shauna grabs that mirror, I think about Saturday Night Live. What's in this? Which the guy? You remember the guy used to do the reflections? He used to talk stuff. He used to talk in the mirror and like, "You are wonderful. You are great,
yes,
and I love you."
His name. I love.
Oh my goodness! But I'm gonna Google it. But like,
I have to find that clip.
It's the first thing that pops in my head, and I'm like, "Stop being silly, Jeanette." Okay, but I think I go there. I go there because I struggle with that whole like looking at yourself in the mirror, having a conversation with yourself, but. So my immediate reaction is to get silly about it, but
it's a beautiful series. It's a beautiful
really good
reflection series. It really
that makes you feel good. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. Yes, this is amazing, ladies. High key happy.
High key happy.
We're baking in all the things here, and I love it. Yes, and this is our finale episode. We got some special things planned for you guys in season 3. Stay tuned, including just kicking it off with that. That'll be early in the season, and we are super excited for some of the other things. We have some recommendations, some suggestions for some guests coming up for next season. Oh my goodness, we're still doing some research on that. And we're hoping to bring you some folks and maybe revisit some of our prior guests too. You never know. So we'll see. So stay tuned for more. Join that mailing list. You'll be the first to hear about it. So we're super, super excited.
Yes.
Anything else, ladies, on happiness and high key happy? I keep saying the title because I love it so much.
So I would just,
beautiful.
So my only ask before we close it out, because I know Linda wanted to leave y'all with something positive at the end of the season. So what does high key happy mean to you two ladies? I already gave y'all mine. So.
Oh, you did.
Jeanette.
She actually baked that in there. She did. Yeah, she baked it in there like a good mac and cheese.
Because Linda thought she was about to get off real quick.
Yeah, I was like, yep. So we're gonna wrap
over to
this
you,
up.
Shauna. I said, oh no, she ain't about to throw this to Shauna.
It's worked in the past. controlling the outcome.
Yeah.
I'm still doing the work in that area.
She tried it.
I tried it.
And it's Stuart Smalley.
Stuart Smalley. Oh, okay. See that?
Yeah.
Is there a way we could put it side by side? Okay. Anyway, would you ask?
What does Hockey Happy mean to you, Linda? After this year and season?
After this year and season, so the last 18 months, I really think it starts from the inside. So, and maybe some people may have to do a little bit more work from the inside out. And I think it's the inside. I wanted to get back to my happy place. So my happy meter, I just made it up, is
like that.
Is on 10, right? I knew I was at probably a 5 or a 6. So I knew I had to do the work to get back to because that's me on a regular day. Whatever your happy meter is, at least stay at that, but always strive to do better and keep getting better. And just, making an impact to yourself and those around you. Because, I don't want to say miserable, because sometimes things hit us, life hits us, and we're unhappy about some things. But
we know some people that are literally
we do.
Negative
living
people.
In that space forever, it just does something to you. That mood, just the way you feel, that when you wake up, you're just in that space. Because I know when I'm in that space, and I don't like being there. Like being sad, that's not my thing, right? And then you have to be sad sometimes, because that's life. But I just know that I don't want to live there forever. So I had to do the work to get back to that my high happy meter. Your happy meter is 7, and that's where you are, and that's great for you. Some of us have high happy energy, and that's okay. But I think you just have to make the decision to be in a space where your happy meter is and how it makes you thrive in life. So that's what I say on that.
I like that, Linda.
Love that. Wow,
and if you cringed when somebody said happy or when you seen this title, then you might need to do some inner work.
Oh my goodness. Ooh, Jeanette, great point. Because I thought that too. Because I've had people cringe at me for being too happy. Like, and those people aren't around anymore. But just not in my space. It's okay. We're cool, but we're at a distance cool. And because I personally, and maybe they can't be around me because, I think about the whole Linus with the pig pen kind of thing from Charlie. Maybe that's their space, but I love
Charlie Brown.
I do too. I knew you were Shauna. I saw Shauna smiling. I was like, yeah, I got one. So that's what I would say on that. And thanks for Jeanette for throwing that back to me, because I was okay with just,
It's okay to be happy, people. It's okay to be happy.
Jeanette says it best. See, it sounds better coming from you.
I'll take it. Don't worry. Take one for the team. Shauna, what about you?
For me, at this season in my life, I just want to take every day in with that attitude, with the high key happiness. And as much as this word bothers me, I need it. I need to surrender. There's a lot of things that I need to surrender in my life too, in order to get to, I like the way you eloquently put it, flow with ease, which was my year, and to get to the joy. We have to surrender. I think too many times, I know for myself, I always say this, and it's really true about myself. I'm really doing the inner work and working on the expectation part of life. I just really want it to be like cookie cut. If I do 1 + 1 = 2, you know what I mean? I want it to be like that. And I don't want to hear 1A + 2A. What is that? You know what I mean? I don't want that. I don't want algebra. I didn't like algebra.
I loved algebra. It was my favorite subject.
I didn't do well with it the first time. I had to take it twice to understand. Why are we combining letters with numbers? But that's a whole nother thing.
Solve for X.
I just love it.
That's a whole nother thing. So that's what I'm doing. I'm working on every day, choosing happiness, and as situations come my way, staying on the bright side of it, I guess, if you will, and allowing my human self to be pissed off or petty about it, or have those immediate emotions, but like Linda said, not live there. And they say, okay, this happened, mess happens. Okay, how are we going to handle it? What are you going to do about it? What can I control? So that's where I'm at right now. This year came in with the packing and unpacking, but the second half of the year, I'm not even going to put nothing on it. I'm just going to flow with ease.
Awesome. Yep.
And this is
I don't want to be disappointed.
Oh no.
There you go.
That's what happens. You get disappointed. And then that's when I believe you start rabbit hoeing. Oh my God.
So we're gonna.
I mean, you know, if that's how you choose to be happy.
That's how you choose your happy.
Oh my God.
I mean, you know.
It could lead to other things. It could lead to negative things. So that's what I meant. Oh my God. I had a tear in my eye.
You feel is best for this episode.
OMG. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Thank you for that, Shauna.
That was good.
I'm just gonna mute myself real quick.
Whatever makes you happy.
Oh wow.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. I'm like, really? Oh shoot, what am I missing?
Okay. Wow.
I cannot wait to clip this piece out and just drop just a laugh. No, not clip it out like that, but just drop the laughter. Just drop the laughter on
leave
IG
it in.
And ask some people like, do you can you even guess? You can't even guess what we're laughing at. Who's laughing?
Oh, who's laughing?
Oh, that's you, girl. Shauna, have I told you I love you? Because let me tell you.
Shauna.
Thank you.
Shauna.
Shout out to anyone that knows where that comes from.
Shout out to anyone. There's a select few.
OMG,
know what that is.
Y'all got me crying. I got tears of joy. Are these tears of joy?
Yes, they are.
That is how you end it.
That's how you end the season finale. Yes. That's the season finale.
Got me crying up in here.
That was completely unscripted. Let me tell y'all.
True that.
Wow.
I was gonna say something, and no, I don't remember what I was gonna say. It don't even matter no more. It don't even matter no more.
Can't wait to rewind this and look at our faces.
Yes.
You know, when you're in the moment, you can't.
You know, right? I know. Oh gosh.
Okay.
My headphones came off and everything. Oh my goodness! I about fell off this bench.
This is my fam's like, you doing what?
And then she repeated it though. That was what made it even funnier because then she repeated it and it clicked in her head when she said, she's like,
I'm over here.
I say that?
I was over here taking notes. I was like,
did you write that down?
I was writing like crazy.
Hashtag it, Linda. Hashtag.
Oh my goodness. There's a couple of letters missing.
Shauna has told us.
I don't even want to repeat it. Yeah, I don't even want to repeat it.
I was writing and I realized there was a couple of letters missing. I was like,
Shauna has told us this is the effects of being bilingual. Sometimes things just don't come out.
I'm so glad you understand that, Jeanette, because my teachers didn't understand that. Ay, Dios mío. Thank you. Thank you for getting it. But y'all my Philly girl, my New Jersey girl.
Yeah, we get it. We get it.
If y'all were driving in that moment, I hope that you're safe right now.
Oh, yes, thank you for that. Yes, thank you for that. Safety first, boys and girls, ladies.
All right.
Heartbeats. All right, so
we're gonna let that be the ending. Shauna, do you want to take us out and tell people where they can find us and all the things?
Yes, all the things, all the places and platforms you can see us or find us on IG, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and now Pinterest. Jeanette, if you add another platform,
okay,
they need us everywhere.
Pinterest. I love Pinterest. Pinterest is fun.
Yeah.
And this is the end of our season 2. So if you've missed any episodes, go ahead and binge or catch up, or if any one of them resonate with you, feel free to share it out with your friends and family. And come back next season, y'all. Season 3. Come back next season.
Episode 50.
Fuego, baby. It's gonna be lit.
Woo! Lit.
Fuego, baby. Come back.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.